Here's UAW Shawn Fain to give us some hopium, okay?
What people and many in this room will say. They'll say people just don't want to work, or working class people are lazy. But the truth is, working class people aren't lazy. They're fed up. They're fed up with being left behind and stripped of dignity as wealth inequality in this nation, this world spirals out of control. They're fed up that in America, 3 families have as much wealth as the bottom 50% of citizens in this nation.
Jesus Christ, has it gotten that bad? Oh my God. I feel like it was only like 6 years ago or something that it was like, well, the top 100 families have that much wealth. I feel like the pandemic consolidated it so much.
That is criminal. America is better than this. So I want to close with this. I agree there is an epidemic in this country of people who don't want to work. People who can't be bothered to get up every day and contribute to our society, but instead want to freeload off the labor of others. But those aren't blue-collar people. Those aren't working-class people. It's a group of people who are never talked about for how little they actually work and produce and how little they contribute to humanity. The people I'm talking about are the Wall Street freeloaders, the masters of passive income. Those who profit off the labor of others have all the time in the world, while those who make this country run, the people who build the products and contribute to labor, have less and less time for themselves, for their families, and for their lives.
I gotta say, man, Shawn Fain, I know I shouldn't even allow myself to hope for this. But if ever there was like a dark horse candidate from outside of politics on the left-leaning side of the spectrum who might be able to actually break in and like win the presidency like out of the blue, it's this guy, you know? If he makes it another 4 years and he ran for office, I would back him 100%, dude. And I feel like a lot of other people would too. Not in like a LARPy, like, oh, let's all get behind Cornel West type way. I mean, like, he actually has the organizing chops. He actually has the like heart of the working people. Like, he's actually someone that you could believe in, you know? I am scared for him, Dragon Slayer, frankly. Oh, yeah, simply Jason, this Shawn Fain is the leader of the UAW, the United Auto Workers Union. And he just makes bangers. That is his life's goal. Like, here is his new, like when he first got elected, okay? Here was his speech.
Thank you. Good morning, UAW family. After that first little bit of debate, I just want to say one thing. Let's get ready to rumble!
Dude committed to that rumble.
We've just witnessed the 4 most powerful words of democracy. The people have spoken. The rumble of the election is finished. Your new democratically elected International Executive Board has met. We met yesterday and this morning. And we are united to serve you. Now, we're here to come together to ready ourselves for the war against our one and only true enemy, multi-billion-dollar corporations and employers that refuse to give our members their fair share. It's a new day in the UAW. First, I want to congratulate our new elected International Executive Board. I especially want to congratulate my union sister, Margaret Mock, who has made history as our union's first African-American woman to serve as Secretary-Treasurer. I also want to take a moment to thank former President Ray Curry for his service. And most of all, I want to thank the members of our great union. You all have made history. For the first time, we as a union have had the courage to give all members the right to vote on our union's direction. Yeah. When given the chance to vote, the membership chose change. We're choosing to fight. And for all of you delegates assembled here, you've chosen to commit yourselves to our great union, no matter the challenges, and there's going to be challenges.
They elected him to fight. Like, they elected him to, like, lead the strike that they that they initiated last year, and it's won them like the biggest contract gains they've seen in union history.
A year before his assassination, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. wrote a book called Where Do We Go From Here? Chaos or Community?
Yeah, like, oh, I love him so much because he has like the awareness of like his place in history. He has the gumption to fight. And he's also able to make the connection to Martin Luther King Jr., who prior to his assassination was fighting for basically the abolition of the abolition of poverty. You know, the rights of the working class to housing, to food, to shelter, to a decent day's pay. And I feel like Shawn Fain, you know, many others have taken up that torch since then, but I feel like Shawn Fain is the first major organizing figure to take it up and to move that forward, you know? The
Dr.
Poor People's
King was
Campaign.
speaking to a new divide in the civil rights movement. The movement had won the Civil Rights Act of 1964. They had won the Voting Rights Act of 1965. But social, economic, political discrimination against African Americans has persisted. The civil rights movement was deep in debate over what was going to come next. Reflecting on those victories and the battles left to fight, King wrote, "We have left the realm of constitutional rights and we are entering the area of human rights. The Constitution assured the right to vote, but there is no such assurance of the right to adequate housing or the right to an adequate income. Achievement of these goals will be a lot more difficult and require much more discipline, understanding, organization, and sacrifice." Dr. King's words resonate with us today. Our union is moving from rights on paper to rights in action. We've won the right to vote for our top leadership. We have the right to strike. We have the right to a grievance procedure. We have a right to arbitration, to collective bargaining. But we have not yet won the rights that will fundamentally change this union and change this country. We've not yet won racial and economic justice in the workplaces for all of our members. We've not yet won equal pay for equal work with an end to tiers in our contracts that divide our members. We've not yet won an end to plant closures that destroy our working class communities and tear our families and our members' lives apart. We've not yet won a higher education system that creates good jobs and provides free education as a public good.
Like, you can see even in this speech where he has been elected to the UAW, his messaging is not just to the UAW. His messaging is about a wider goal, not just for the workers at the auto plants, but for everyone in America, for all people. And I appreciate that his goals and his vision are bigger than just organizing auto workers. And I think that is really, really important, and the thing that makes me think this guy could do it. This guy actually has a heart for the people. And that is a rare thing. It's a very rare thing in politics.
We've not yet won retirement security and health care and pensions for all. We have not yet won rights on the job for the hundreds of thousands of unorganized auto workers and millions of other workers across the country. Not yet, but I believe we will. Dr. King spoke of the need for discipline, understanding, organization, and sacrifice. These are the qualities I see in our union. These are the qualities I see in our members, and these are the qualities I see in this room. We have the discipline that we need to organize better than ever before. We have the understanding that we need to regain the trust of the membership. We have the organization that, if united in a common goal, we cannot be defeated. We have the will to sacrifice for the greater good, including on the picket line. As Dr. King took stock of the civil rights movement, he noted, every revolutionary moment or movement has its peaks of united activity and its valleys of debate. So, brothers and sisters, let us debate the future of our union. Let that debate be spirited and forceful. And let us emerge from this valley of debate to our highest peak yet. And then let us move forward together as the UAW, united. It's our union's first name. It means even when we disagree, we're all in this together. It means your fate is bound up with mine, with all of our union brothers, sisters, and siblings. The last of that UAW is the word workers. That's our family surname. It's our family name. It means we're not afraid to work hard, whether in a factory or on a campus, in a casino or in a hospital, whether in a union hall or on a picket line. As Dr. King wrote on the final pages of his book, we are now faced with the fact that tomorrow is today. We are confronted with the fierce urgency of now. In this unfolding conundrum of life and history, there is such a thing as being too late. So, brothers and sisters, today I say we're not too late. The United Auto Workers are ready to get back in the fight against corruption, against concessions, against tears. The UAW is ready to get back in the fight for good jobs, for economic justice, for our families, and for our communities. It's up to you to chart our course this week. And then it's up to all of us to join together in solidarity and get back in the fight for all of us. Thank you.
And I just want to point out how effective this push was. The strike that he oversaw. Here is a piece from The Nation. In this paragraph towards the end of it. But the UAW isn't resting on its laurels. The union is still fighting to regain the ground it lost as a result of past concessions. Basically, every time contracts came up to be renegotiated, the union kept getting cuts, kept getting bullied by the corporations, until they were just being paid peanuts. So even with a 25% pay hike over the course of the 5-year contracts, the initial top rate for production workers will still be below what it was in 2007 when adjusted for inflation, and organizing the battery plants in southern and border states won't be easy. Fain recognizes that successful strikes are only the beginning of the fight for the advancement of the working class. Because notice what he did there. Notice what he did in the end of his speech. He highlighted United and Workers. That's the first and the last name of the union. Because his aim is broader than just one union, broader than just the workers of the auto industry. He's urged other major unions to align their contract negotiations so that the threat of strikes can affect corporations in the auto sector and beyond on May 1st, 2028. So, when the new contracts expire. So mark your calendars, folks. May 1st, 2028. We might see the birth of the Union of Unions. And that's pretty incredible, you know? That's really, really incredible. This is... Like, Shawn Fain is a historic leader. And I just want to point out one more thing before we continue. 500 votes out of 145,000 auto workers. Shawn Fain won his presidency of the UAW by 500 votes. Voting matters. Whether it's in electoral politics for your local government, or your state government, or your national government, voting matters. Or in your union, it matters. That is a slim margin. Don't rest on your laurels. Get out there, organize, vote. Because your life depends on it. The quality of your life depends on it. The quality of your friends' lives depend on it. Your family depends on it. Any future you can imagine depends on it. So vote. Organize or die. And vote.